Good. Okay. Hi and welcome to my 100th Facebook Live. Wow. Actually made it the first 100. We've got more to go, but that's a milestone. And I had all ideas of what I was going to say today, and then I just decided to just settle on something really simple. I don't believe in reality. I'll get to what I mean by that in a second, but I'll introduce myself first to get things started. For those who haven't watched if you haven't watched my broadcast before, or if you have, a little reminder about who I am. My name is Barry Selby. I am a relationship attraction expert, helping strong, successful women finding balance in love, life, and business. And I'm also a passionate champion for the divine feminine. Also a best-selling author, I think I said that, and a speaker. I may have missed that one. Anyway, that's the caption about who I am in terms of what's not written underneath my name. And I do daily broadcasts about love and relationships, masculine and feminine polarity, and feminine leadership and strength. And this topic, I have no idea where it's going to go. I just had this idea to talk about it, and I'll see what happens. So if you're here watching live, great. If you're watching the replay, please put your questions below. I will answer them as I get to them. Let's talk about this. The reason I'm putting the idea about don't believe in reality, it's an illusion, is because we tend to make assumptions about the way life is. Now, part of why this is stirred up is because last night I finally watched the movie Arrival, which if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Of course, you have to have a certain inclusion of science fiction type stuff to get it, but it was potent in terms of its message and its possibility. Yeah, I won't say anything else about it in case you haven't seen it, but the thing about it was, as a reminder, is there's more to life than meets the eye. And that's the thing about the illusion. When I speak about don't believe reality because it's illusions, because we create our world by what we say. Now, this is where I'm going to spin it a different way, and it ties into what I said, I think, in yesterday's broadcast, the one before that. Simply put, our words, our thoughts create our reality. And I have talked about this briefly in previous broadcasts, but I want to just speak about it here more directly because I want to get your attention with it. This reality that we live in is extremely malleable based upon what we think. Sit with that one for a second. And the reality that I'm talking about is what we experience in everyday life. So let me qualify that first. Based upon your inner dialogue and your inner perspective, what you experience outside can change. For example, let's look at some of your history, your memories, so to speak. Say you look back at your life, and when you were a child, you believe that your father never hugged you, for example. You will, in your memory, selectively choose to see memories of only when he didn't hug you. It doesn't matter what he did or not. What you remember is what becomes your reality. On the other side of the coin, if you look back at your same experience and say maybe you have memories of your father. Actually, no, let's say it this way. If you were to go back and say, okay, so what if I was wrong? What if my dad did hug me when I was a kid? And you sit with that idea for a moment or two, or a day, and let your mind wander, and you might start noticing that what comes to mind slowly but surely are flashbacks and memories of when he did actually hug you. When you believed he didn't, you never saw those memories. But when you start believing it's possible he did, the memories start to trickle in. Now, this is a model you can play with the different ideas. I'm just showing you one example. But the key is, your memory is selective. So your belief about what happened, your memories of what happened in the experience, and your perception of reality is based upon what you believe. That gets interesting, doesn't it? So that's memory. The same thing is true, switching the spectrum to the other side, which is future, is your future is defined by what you think now. There's a quote, I don't remember who said it was, it's like the way I can tell what you were thinking 7 years ago, I think 7 years was the number they played with, there's a way I can tell what you were thinking 7 years ago because the way you live your life now is what was the memory. And also I know the way that your life's going to be in 7 years because what you're thinking now is going to create that. And this is the point. As I said, you look at your memories and they're selective what you believe about what happened before. Now, go into the future and go into your vision or intention, what you want to create. If you don't have a clear intention of what you want, it ain't going to happen. I mean, it's a reality because you won't know what you want. It also is clear about when you do know what you want, it'll tend to be in that direction where you'll get results. Now, this is something I want to play with a little bit in this conversation because it's something I've learned a lot myself, and I'm still exploring, experimenting. I'm not perfect at this by any stretch of the imagination yet. May never will be. But it's an experiment I recommend highly you jump into and play with as well, because it's your life, it's your reality. Change it. That's what I'm saying. Don't believe in your reality. It's an illusion, because the perspective on reality is something that's malleable. As I said before, it's a reality that's not necessarily fixed and stuck. For example, well, let me go back to the future one first, because I said about the past, the future. I'll get to the present in a moment. I'm just jumping over the timeline, as it were. Sorry, that was from Arrival that triggered that one. So, past memories are selective. Future vision intentions will create what you want in the future. So if you don't have a clear vision of what you want, it doesn't matter what shows up, you don't get it. Or you get what you expected, which is nothing. If you have a clear intention and you start planning for and putting strategies into motion, you'll create a different reality because of what you set in motion. So again, your reality is malleable, both in the past and the future. What about the present? Yes. There's a term that I learned in my graduate program called Reframing. And it's a powerful tool to see the world differently. If you're dealing with a situation that is not enjoyable, maybe in a relationship, since my focus is about relationship, let's use a relationship as the platform to play with. So, you're in a relationship that basically things aren't working the way you want. They neglect you, or they don't take care of you the way you want, and it sucks and it hurts and it's painful. If in the midst of this, you can see through a lens of possibility that maybe you can see in a way the way you say your partner has been so preoccupied, and that as soon as you let them know how much you care about them, something changes. I'm just throwing ideas out there. This is just an experiment. So you're in a relationship and you feel neglected by your partner, and you realize that they're a very busy person and they feel swamped. As soon as you perhaps do something different, which might be, instead of complaining about the fact they neglect you, put your energy into being caring about them. Maybe you surprise them with something, or you just you touch them and rub their shoulders and you just tell how much you love them. You might discover, quite possibly, that they'll start giving to you in a way that they never did before, because you changed your reality. There's a thing about reframing, there's more about reframing internally, but I'm going to make external experience of this. So what I'm saying here very succinctly, and this is a very, very sketchy description of what's going on, but I want to give you a quick broadcast. It is Saturday night. This is my 100th broadcast, which is kind of like, whoa. But the reality I'm talking about is malleable in the past, in the future, and in the present. So you can change what you're experiencing is. Also, in terms of the present, you might have been experiencing your day and feeling like it's not going so well. Well, if you have that experience, you're going to feel pretty shitty about it, most likely. Maybe you'll grab a beer or a glass of wine to take the edge off. And you'll feel pretty like worn out and depressed, maybe. Switch it around. If your day wasn't going great, as you perceived it, perhaps you could see it through a different lens and see your life as a possibility like, you know what? I did okay today. I felt pretty good about it. You can actually start changing your language and reframing the words you say to yourself that will then change your experience, because one of the things I learned in my master's program is that the words we say, the beliefs, the mental picture, is tied to the emotions we feel. And the emotions we feel are tied to the physical experience we have. So, thank you. Glad you like that. You're welcome. I'm watching comments, by the way. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is a Facebook Live I did earlier, so I'm responding to comments on here. So someone's loving what I said. Okay, thank you. So let me rewind and recap what I was saying before I forget it. You have the ability to create a different experience, because the way that the mental, emotional, and physical are all tied together is almost like you have this meridian or medium. It's like a line tying together. So, for example, if you have a belief, a mental thought, that life never treats you fairly, it doesn't work out for you, your feelings are going to be somewhat probably of depression or of upset or not feeling happy or not feeling joyful. And your experience out in life will correspond to that automatically. Yes, automatically. So what you'll have is an outward experience that affirms what you're thinking and what you're feeling. You can change that. If you set an intention at the beginning of the day when you wake up in the morning, maybe you go to meditate first or go work out or have a smoothie, whatever it is, and as you're doing that, you spend a few minutes in the mirror looking into your eyes and saying, today's going to be an amazing day. I'm looking forward to the surprises that are coming. Not cheerleading, but just opening up questions and suggestions for yourself. So your mind, you say to yourself, I wonder what's going to happen today. What good things are going to happen? I wonder what's going to be surprising me in such amazing ways. I wonder what miracles will happen today. Without any attention to agenda or results. Just questions, ideas, wonderings. And when you do so, do it in a place where you start evoking a feeling of wonder, a feeling of possibility, a feeling of enjoyment even. And play with it and just dabble with it. Just spend 5 minutes doing this in the mirror and then let it go. Go about your day and I will pretty much guarantee you that your physical experience in the world will shift from whatever it was before into one where fun things happen. Now, your day may not actually happen any differently, but you'll notice things differently. You'll notice those little nuances and subtleties in life that are like, oh, that was cute. Oh, that was silly. Oh, that was entertaining. And you'll feel it from a buoyant place, a joyful place, an uplifted place. I had an experience today where I was riding my bike earlier, and I was riding and was so caught up in something, I almost wrecked my bike. I mean, I was just like watching something as it went by. I was like going off to the side, and I wasn't watching what was ahead of me. But I grabbed myself in time, and I burst out laughing because I realized I'd lost my attention. Now, in the past, maybe I would have got like, oh, damn, because I didn't almost wreck my bike. I was like, the choice point was how I responded. That's because I've been doing this for a while to remember that I have choice over how I want to respond, and I have choice about how I want to perceive things. You do too. You can shift everything about your relationships, about your work, about your health, about your exercise, about your physical body, about your spiritual connection, anything, by changing the words you say. So, a little recap for this piece, because this is what you can do right now, is by changing your mental programming. Affirmations work, questioning, positive inspiration, anything you want to use that will do that will start shifting your mindset briefly. It may not take a long time, just doing it a little bit at a time. Will change how you feel, because when you start doing that enough, you'll start feeling better, feeling more joyful, more uplifted, and then your physical world experience will actually reflect how you feel. So the truth is that your reality is malleable. Your truth is that your reality is an illusion, because it can change. You can control and change your reality. I just got goosebumps thinking about that. That's the power that we have as human beings, or spiritual beings having human experience, as I said last time. The whole talk yesterday about the spiritual being having human experience that came out of that field. I didn't expect it, but it came through. So this is an exercise you can do. That's my homework assignment to you. Sorry, that's my heart work assignment for you, not homework. So go play with this. See what happens. And do me a favor, and if you've got questions, put them in the comments below. And if you do this and have experiences, please put that in the comments below as well. I'd like to find out how it happened for you and experience it. Second thing, if you know anybody should watch this, please share it out with them. This is my daily broadcast. This is number 100. I ain't stopping. I'm going to keep going. But I wanted to share this with you as a suggestion, as an idea. This is stuff that hopefully inspires you and gives you some ideas to work with. Try it on for size, see how it goes. And definitely let me know how it goes. So share it with anybody you think might get value from this. This is number 100 in Ongoing Series. Yes, there are 99 of those before this. You check my business page, also on YouTube under my messages from the Masculine playlist, and also on my, and by the way, on my social media is Barry Selby. And also on my website, barryselby.com, on my video blog. You watch them all there as well. So hopefully you have fun with this one. This is my celebratory number 100 broadcast, and I've got more to do. But I want to just plant this seed with you. So do the homework, do the heart work, and let me know how you feel. And put some notes in the comments below. All right? Thanks for watching. Back in tomorrow. And take care of yourselves. Okay?